Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are gonna be comparing two concealers. They are both from Dior. One is the Dior Forever Skin Correct. It's the new concealer. And the other one is the Dior Backstage concealer. Two of my current obsessions, and they're both from the same brand, so I thought it would be very fun to compare the two and see which one I end up liking more. So that's what today's gonna be all about. Before we do get into it, as usual, please you guys, please give this video a thumbs up for me and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you love anything to do with makeup or self-tanner, this is the channel for you. You get 3 videos a week, so do not miss out. Please subscribe. But if you want to see my comparison of these two concealers, stay tuned for the rest of the video. All right, guys. I'm so excited because I love both of these so much. This one I just recently tried and I could not stop using it. Like, I literally cannot get enough of this stuff, and that is how I felt about this too before I tried this. So I want to see what they look like next to each other, see how they compare, and see which one I actually like more, because I'm telling you right now, these two are like the only ones that I have been using. It's insane. Like, Dior is killing it with the products lately, so yeah, I'm very excited. We're gonna be reading up on the details on both of these, so I am just gonna pull them up on Sephora. I got both of these at Sephora, so let's see. I'm gonna read the details on this one first. It just popped up first. So this is the Dior Forever Skin Correct Full Coverage Concealer. It goes for $40, so it is a little pricey. And then I have this in the shade 2N. So it's like a light, medium, neutral kind of thing. And then the size is 0.37 ounces or 11 milliliters. The highlights say natural finish, full coverage, long wearing, hydrating. It says a transfer proof full coverage concealer that delivers up to 24 hours of wear and hydration, visibly corrects blemishes and reduces the look of under eye circles. Full coverage liquid formulation. This creamy buildable coverage concealer from Dior Makeup hides the redness, dark spots, and blemishes in a single swoop. Infused with floral extracts, the multi-use formula smooths and hydrates skin to improve the complexion day after day. But moving on to the next one, obviously this sounds amazing, but the next one, the Dior Backstage Concealer, goes for $29. So it is $11 cheaper than the new Dior one, which this is pretty new too. They're both kind of new. Just wanted to put that out there. I also have this in the shade 2N. So it's like a light medium with neutral undertones. So this says that it also has 0.37 ounces, which is kind of mind-blowing because this looks bigger than this when you're just like looking at them next to each other. But I guess when you put them like, well, you could see it like that too. I guess like when you really look at them inside the glass, it's like they're the same kind of. This one's a little bit longer. This one, just the glass takes up more space. So I guess that does make sense that they're the same size, but that's still surprising at the same time. Anyways, it says radiant finish, liquid formula, hydrating, good for dark circles, medium coverage, long wearing. A caffeine infused radiant concealer that delivers waterproof and crease proof full coverage with an innovative makeup brush applicator for precision. Okay, so it is full coverage, not medium. It says coverage full, finish radiant. This Dior Makeup Essential is a powerful spot concealer that offers an immediate radiance boost. Micro pigments visibly blur imperfections and brighten the complexion to make eyes pop. Infused with caffeine, it conceals the look of dark circles, under eye bags, and delivers immediate fresh awakening effect. So I would say they sound pretty similar, honestly, in their description. I think the main difference between the two, at least from what I'm seeing, is that this one is supposed to be like a natural finish. This one is supposed to be a radiant finish. So that's like the biggest difference that I'm getting. But they're both supposed to be like hydrating, long wearing. Obviously, they're both liquid. Obviously, they both are full coverage, so they cover up everything that you need them to. And I have them both in the same shade, so I feel like this one's gonna be really hard to tell like an actual difference between the two, but we shall see. So I want to get started on applying these, and then we can like talk details and look at differences and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna put both on. I'm gonna do the Backstage concealer on this side and the new concealer on this side. And then once I've done the application on both sides, I'll come back, show you guys what they look like, and then I'll do some makeup on talk and we'll talk final thoughts. So let's get started. Alright guys, I am back. Here is what my face looks like initially right after applying the product. I swear to God, you guys, I started applying and I got to this side and I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm like forgetting something. I forgot to put any concealer under my eyes, so I had to go back and like put some under there. But yeah, it's just that kind of day, but that's okay. I am looking at both on my face right now. It's really, 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 really difficult to tell any difference whatsoever. Like, if I did not know any better, like, you'd literally think that I was wearing the same concealer on both sides of my face. You really cannot tell much of a difference at all. The only, I guess, like, big, not big, but it's a little bit of a difference that I would say is I feel like this under eye looks a little bit more hydrated than this one. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like this side looks a tiny bit less like creasy than this one. Not that this one does look creasy, but this one just looks more like smooth, if that makes sense. And I feel like my pores on this side, because I did go down to here with the concealer, the pores on this side just look a tiny, tiny, tiny bit better. But that's really the only differences that I noticed. And you honestly would never even tell unless you were comparing both side by side like I am right now. Like, they honestly look so similar. You'd never know the difference. They both covered everything that I needed them to. I have like a big blemish right here that still has a little redness peeking through, but it did do a good job of covering it up. I feel like overall they feel exactly the same. They look pretty much the same. So it's really, really hard to tell right now, but I'm gonna go put the rest of my makeup on so we could see how this, or both of them, kind of work with other makeup products on top, and then I will come back and I will let you guys know who my winner is. So give me 1 second. Alright guys, I am back. I have all the rest of my makeup on, and honestly, I feel like my makeup looks the same on both sides. So that just made it even harder for me, honestly. I feel like the differences between these two are so minimal that you would literally think that they're the same concealer. I will say the pore thing on the Backstage side, like I had mentioned, like I feel like my pores are just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more noticeable on this side than they are on the Forever Skin side. So if that's a big thing for you, then probably go for the Forever Skin side. And I still feel like this side of my face, the Forever Skin side, my under eyes are a little bit more like awake, I guess, than the Backstage side. So those are really the only differences that I noticed, and again, they're such minimal differences that you would really only notice if you had the two right next to each other. Like, honestly, I feel like if I mixed these up, you wouldn't have a single clue what is on what side of my face, because they're so similar. Like, they feel the same, they look the same, they're both pretty full coverage. I will say though, I feel like the pigment of this one came off a little bit more yellowy than this one did, just when they were on my face. And I don't know why, because they're the same color, but I did want to point that out just so you guys know. I'm not sure if you saw while I was applying, but that was one thing that I noticed. But once blended in, they look pretty much exactly the same. I do feel like the Forever Skin one will give you a tiny bit more coverage than the Backstage one though. I do want to mention that because this blemish on my face still has a little bit of redness peeking through, but any blemish that I had on the Forever Skin side was completely covered up. So that's what I'll say were like the main differences between the two. So I am gonna have to say, if you're looking for something that is gonna like wake you up, make you look completely alive, that's gonna do a really good job on your pores, that's gonna cover everything, like full coverage, if you wanna go full glam, I say go for the Forever Skin from Dior. But I will also say those differences are so minimal between the two that you could get away with the same look with the Backstage one. They're the same size, they have the same amount of product. This one just looks a little more luxurious than the Backstage one. This one's a little bit more like, I guess you could call it travel friendly because it's like a plasticky kind of material, and this one's glass. Like this feels heavy, feels and looks luxe. This one still looks luxe. So I do want to say, if those things that I mentioned aren't like a huge deal to you, I say go with the Dior because again, they look pretty much exactly the same on my face, and this one is $11 cheaper. So I would say if like packaging is not a thing to you, and if you don't care about those tiny differences that I said, then go with the Dior Backstage because you're getting pretty much the same exact look for $11 less. Now, if you like that more like luxurious look of the packaging and you want like that extra little coverage that it's providing, and if you want like that extra tiny little like airbrushed look around the pores, then I say go with this one. I'm still gonna be using both like crazy. Like I honestly switch between the two a lot and I love both. So I don't plan on stopping using either one. Like I think both are amazing and I recommend both of them, but those are just my thoughts. Like for a full glam night out, I'm probably gonna grab for this one just because of what I had mentioned, but I already have the two. So if you don't already have both and you're juggling on which one to choose, I say, again, if those tiny little differences aren't a huge deal to you, go with the Backstage. You're saving $11 and you're getting pretty much the exact same look. So yeah, that's it. They're both winners in my eyes, but I had fun with this one. I hope you guys did too. Comment and let me know what you think. If you noticed anything that I did not, let me know. I want to know your thoughts too. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see from me. Give this a big thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. But stay tuned and I will see you guys in the next video.